Prime Minister has joined the debate about Roald Dahl's books being rewritten, quoting the BFG when saying, "We shouldn't gobble funk with words." Publisher Puffin has made hundreds of changes to the children's books, including banning the word fat, so Augustus Gloop in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is now enormous, and Oompa Loompas are gender neutral. Miss Trunchbull in Matilda no longer has a horsey face, just a face. Ugly has been scrapped, so Mrs Twit is no longer ugly and beastly, only beastly. And in The Witches, women described as being supermarket cashiers or letter writers for businessmen are now top scientists or business owners. Salman Rushdie has called it absurd censorship, and Philip Pullman says they should just go out of print rather than be edited. Puffin says the changes have been made so the books can continue to be enjoyed by all today. I mean, they're only small changes, I get that, but the exaggeration that's needed in these books, that's what made it fun. Augustus Gloop, he is fat. Hideously so. He likes chocolate. He's got that funny German accent. I won't do the accent. That's a step too far. But it's all hilarious. I would genuinely rather see those books be burned than have them continue to change it and rewrite it.
I knew you'd get to book burning eventually. The point is, apparently, and I only found this out today, I was talking to the woman from the Times literary section who said that apparently Netflix now owns the copyright to all of this stuff because the family of Roald Dahl sold it to Netflix, right?
Wow.
So Netflix are the ones who they had to ask if this could be possible, because I was obviously concerned that, you know, any author this could happen to, but it can't happen to any author. It can only happen if somebody else has got the copyright. And so they've agreed to all of this, which says an awful lot about Netflix. But isn't it ridiculous, though, that they've not actually even had the sort of honesty to say which bits they've changed? There's a tiny little piece of sort of disclaimer on the copyright page to say that some of the words have been changed, but it doesn't refer you to the words that have actually been changed, and it doesn't tell you which parts of the book have been altered. I think it's really dishonest.
Yeah. That's fascinating. I didn't know that the Roald Dahl estate had
Apparently
sold.
So.
I mean, that makes me less sympathetic to the Roald Dahl estate, because if you sell the rights to your...
Well, I don't think they've said anything about it, have they? I mean...
Well, presumably they can't.
No. I mean, they're not the ones being critical of it, because they're obviously very happy with the money that Netflix gave them.
But think of the children. I mean, the reality is the children...
Think about the children.
They love... But when we were kids, we loved all of this. And we loved these wild descriptions.
Of course.
You know, I mean, the fat Augustus Gloop and the Oompa Loompas and all of this. It was part of our childhoods.
Oh, so it's a fantasy, right? I mean,
but it's being dumbed
real.
down to the point where we end up being complete snowflakes. The kids of today are being deprived of this great opportunity, of this incredible author.
Also,
I think it's
if you're a writer, then you very carefully choose the words. And ugly, for example, was used... Let me just have a little quote here from D.H. Lawrence in Lady Chatterley's Lover. He actually uses the word ugly 3 times because it's such an ugly word. Ugly, ugly, ugly. It just makes the word ugly. I mean, it's almost onomatopoeic. You know, so ugly is a really important word. Also, fat. Hold on a second. I thought we weren't allowed... I thought we were actually... people had reclaimed the word fat and it was OK to be...
It's confusing.
So where are we on that sort of side of it? And enormous is not the same as fat. Enormous means really tall
And what's the difference between a formidable female now becoming a formidable woman? I mean...
Right. Also, why do the women have to be business women instead of cashiers? What's the difference? Who cares?
And also, what's wrong with being a cashier, for goodness sake? I mean, that's actually dissing people who want to do a perfectly good job,
well,
for
hot
goodness
off the press from what Mike was just telling us about the Roald Dahl story company. We're just saying that they've sold it to Netflix. They control the rights to the books, just as Mike said. And they have said that they worked with Puffin to review the text because it wanted to ensure that Dahl's wonderful stories and characters continue to be enjoyed by all children today. So, I mean, it's basically that they didn't want to be... Before they were cancelled, they wanted to edit themselves.
If they hadn't changed it, the children would still have enjoyed these books and wouldn't have known any difference. I think that's an absolute load of tosh.
There is no
I'm
child...
not buying it at all.
There's no child reading those books saying, "I can't read that, Mummy. It says ugly."
I
would give me nightmares.
I wish... Well, maybe we'll end up with a sort of 2-tier system of literature, you know, where you've got books as they were written by the author and a sort of, you know, a softer, woke version for people who might be offended by it. You know?
I wonder how much of Roald Dahl's own difficult personality and very difficult political views. He was an anti-Semite. He you know, was certainly misogynistic, and I don't think many people dispute that. I wonder if that has played into the editing of
but it shouldn't.
books.
No,
it shouldn't. I agree with you.
I'm sure it has done, because people will go, "Oh, well, he's not very nice." Well, so what?
Yeah, but also, can I just say, formidable female is now formidable woman. Formidable female, the reason why it works is because it's alliterative.
Yeah.
Formidable female, formidable woman is just rubbish.
Also, these people who have been appointed as sort of sensitivity editors, I mean, what sort of a person does that?
Well,
I mean, where is the line? How do you even know what you're supposed to change?
There's some sort of company, apparently, called Inclusive Minds, whose spokesperson says it's a collective for people who are passionate about inclusion and accessibility in children's literature. What a load of nonsense.
The trouble is, of course, that this will eventually seep into all kinds of publishing where you won't be able to get a book published because either you're considered to be not a very nice person or, you know, you're pushing ideas out. I mean, I think I spoke about this before, Bret Easton Ellis, you know, who wrote American Psycho, gave a really interesting interview to Radio 4 about this when he's got a new book coming out. And they asked him about free speech and, you know, don't you worry that some of the things that you write about are, you know, misconstrued by people? And he went, no. He said, I actually write for myself. I don't really care what anybody thinks.
And also, you write for people who are going to read the book. And if they don't like want to read the book, they can actually stop reading the book.